media person here. I'm the only person who's not a media person here. But I have, should I?
It'd be nice if you could just tell us this demand, this course that you ran and what that course was about.
Yes. I can tell you that, and
as a
one
course
of
that meant to educate journalists.
yes, journalists and young minds, essentially anybody, and Rajeshwari has been very much part of that. And I used to work with the Center for Science and Environment at one point in time, but no longer. And therein, that I used to work with I used to do the youth program, essentially the youth-led program. And one of my the students, I would say, is sitting there. So, and he just told me, he's with IIT Delhi. He made a fantastic presentation, I'm told, yesterday. IIT Bombay, sorry, Mumbai, yes. So, but the reason why I'm here is that the education, in education, if you think of it, we are not sort of taught as well as tutored, I would say, both, in terms of textbook, in terms of media, in terms of whatever that we read is about the connect between the larger environment, I would say. Soil is not soil. It has many other things in it. The soil, if it is contaminated by X thing, yesterday there was a lecture on waste, or was it today? There was a lecture on waste that could contaminate the soil. And there are loads of things around soil that can be talked about. But one thing that comes to my mind, and that is what is, I think, very essential, we cannot write off the community knowledge, be it at the grassroots, be it at whatever levels, we have to we have to understand and learn from them. The work that I used to do is get in, as you said, the scientists don't come. The scientists would come for the lectures, so would media professionals, so would activists, so would lawyers, so that the 30 in the classroom would understand the connect. Not only the young minds that would not be in the college, there would be lawyers, there would be journalists who have taken up fellowships later. There have been mid-career professionals who have changed their profession later. As you said that in Bihar, the rice and the potato, there have been experiments. Yes, the rice and the potato yield has increased, and I have seen that through not only organic, of course, there have been other inputs with organic. And the work, say for example, you were talking about nitrogen fixing and the dal and the cycle of the whole thing. But we have known this for years, and to feed the large number of people that we are today, we definitely probably need better technology. We cannot just sort of think that only a technology would help, but definitely, but with that, how do you make that connect? How do you sort of say that, like for example, how do you say that the stubble burning you need not do stubble burning, but you could do other things with it? Or even if you do stubble burning was there earlier too. They would do the houses with it, make so many things were used with stubble. So where has all that knowledge gone? Why have we started to concretize our houses so that the stubbles are not used? Maybe the stubble would be used as fodder to some extent, but why have we not done that? So we have forgotten to some extent also to make that connect. And then another thing that when you're talking about pesticide, the pesticide concentration when you're talking about, and it is less. This is, I think, courtesy, because there are lots and lots of places which still does not use pesticide. Maybe when you're talking about 100 acres of land, out of which 10 acres may be using a lot of pesticide. which is bearing actually also the brunt. But since the 990 acres are not using, or maybe the opposite, whatever, that is why it's sort of being normalized or whatever. That is why we can say with a lot of plum that we are using a lot less pesticide. But are we really using that? And when you're talking about GMO, so we have seen when we go out into the village, we've seen, that we don't have to go too far from Delhi. There's this village not about 5 hours from here in Delhi, in Rajasthan, where I would call that village a very good practice of natural resource management. If some of you have been Laporia, if you have been there, if you've heard of Laporia, it is a village which says, okay, stubble burning is fine, the birds who have sort of, we try to shoo away the birds, they say it's fine. And all those things that the traditionally way it was done is done, as well as the modern way of milking and other things have been integrated quite well. So is there a way forward? I think that is what the knowledge system, building of the knowledge systems would help. Building of like what you call this entire system of when you're talking about the successful practices. There are websites of successful practices. There are Vikalp Sangam and Better India and some stories even in Indian Express or the other things are there. How do you highlight that? How do you show it to the future generations to come? How do you talk to them about it? Is something I think it's very important, especially in today's times. How do you interlink science with the community? How do you bring in people who do not understand science? How do you bring in the communities that is outside these rooms, these rooms, to bring in together and make them understand? That is very important. And I think there are some very good examples that are happening, making science, especially environmental talk, and this balance that we're trying to create with the industry coming in, with the development coming in. How do you sort of tweak this and put it together is something. I think there are things that are happening. I don't see it as a gloom and a doom situation. I see it as a positive way forward, and I think young people are making a change. Lots of change has happened through young people. I know firsthand of various young people who have actually left their high-flying jobs. And when you talk about money making in agriculture, there are examples of money making. And again, I go back to Laporia. 80 mm of rain that it used to see, now it sees about 350 mm of rain. Two weeks ago I was there. They're making a lot of money for selling moong dal and millets and everything. You need to know, and we as grey-haired people, we need to tell the younger generation that these things are happening and can happen. Kedia, for example, when you're talking about, I think that is the movement you're talking about, the potatoes, kedia and the onion, or other kheti virasat, or various other, just down south, there are lots of other things happening, lot of beautiful examples happening. It's time, there is a lot of science involved in it, and it's time we highlighted that. And especially journalists probably need to go out of their comfort and go out and see those things happening. Unless and until we see, I think, and experience those things. And since I travel with young people, and I can see, I have seen these changes happening within people, and when they interact, there are certain people, young people I know of, who have literally adopted villages. And I'll be doing a trip very soon, and I've already been told, ma'am, yes, we are going to give in so many hours, and it's somewhere again very near Delhi, so many hours during the sowing and the reaping season. So it is not gloom and doom. We just need to highlight the good practices, and science, whatever it is doing, needs to come out also of its shell to talk about. talk about things that are happening. And I think more of bringing in young, and not only young, the uninitiated mind within this fora is very needed. This is something I feel that.